Next, let's take a look at the effects of these optimizations and some comparisons. Before we start, there's a setting we can make first. Let me show you. It's right here. You can turn these two off if you don't turn them off. When switching between these options, a prompt window will pop up. These windows are just protective prompts, which means if you want to adjust the parameters below, the overall effect will be affected by the settings above, and it asks whether you want to continue. Usually, once you click it, it will remember your choice and won't pop up again. These correspond to these two options here. These two, it's best to uncheck them by default, so the prompt won't pop up, because during the process, you may switch interfaces sometimes, which can cause the prompt to appear. If you encounter a prompt, just check it using the method I showed earlier. There's another setting, which is right here. We mentioned turning these two off earlier. There's also this one, the max script. This one, memory size. Try to set it a little higher. Usually 512 is enough. If your CPU and memory are relatively good, you can set it to 1024. As for the exact value, set it according to your system. Try to set it higher, at least 512. This way, the calculation will be more stable. Otherwise, an error message may pop up. In this lesson, we'll explain the optimizations below, what they optimize, what effects they achieve, and what types they apply to. First, let's add the bones. Using the method from the previous lesson, including the model, we can test the effects one by one. First is smooth. Smooth means smoothing. Some weights may not be smooth enough. For example, in these areas, there may be some stiffness or some strange deformation. This smoothing function can smooth out the weights. Let's test the effects one by one. Click this, and it will indicate that one usage will be consumed. Once you're familiar with it, you can select everything. The previous ASG plus these optimizations can all be selected at once using only one attempt, and all the optimizations can be completed. Here, I'll demonstrate for you the effect of each function. As you can see, it has become a little smoother. But there's a gap here, because this model is made up of separate parts. However, this is only the initial result. There are also arm and leg optimizations later, which can solve these issues. This is just for demonstration. Next is clean mirror. For example, with this character, I can manually create a situation where the left and right sides interfere. For example, the bones on this side are affecting the weights on the other side. I'll move it slightly. When I rotate it, the bones on this side affect the other side. So we can clean this up. Let's run this. Now let's take another look. The weights on this side have been cleaned up. The smooth from the previous step has also been applied, so the transition is smoother. Next are the arm and leg optimizations. Arm optimization. This mainly focuses on the hands. The fingers don't look quite good enough yet. They're still relatively soft. The wrist, especially around the wrist, doesn't look very good either. It's relatively soft, like a noodle. The hand optimization will optimize the elbows, as well as the fingers, to make them look better, giving them a softer inner and firmer outer shape, so they look more like real human hands. Now let's look at the hand optimization result. Let's take a look at the elbow. As you can see, it has become softer on the inside and firmer on the outside. There's a slight bulge here, like a muscle. This part above is still being pulled a little, but let's ignore that for now, because the shoulder optimization later will take care of it. Let's take another look at the fingers. Let's hide the bip. As you can see, they now have this shape, which looks more like real fingers, with a slight bulge in the middle and indentations at the joints, including these. This interface, all the English text has been translated. The text in the interface has all been translated. The results are all like this. These are also separated. You can undo it. The wrist also looks normal. Now let's look at the default foot result. The default foot setting will optimize the toes, because as you can see now, the default weights don't follow the bones very well. The ankle is fine. It will also optimize the heel, as well as the knee. It will also become softer on the inside and firmer on the outside. Let's enable the foot optimization. Now let's look at the toes. The toe deformation now follows the bones. It looks normal now. It now follows the bones properly. The ankle also looks more natural and smoother, with better transitions. The knee is the same. Firmer on the outside and softer on the inside. Of course, for these accessories, you can make manual adjustments later and smooth them again. These protruding points are because the model is separated. The two models are separate, so there is a little extra weight. You can add some manually and then adjust it back. But for now, try not to make detailed adjustments. Wait until everything is finished, because later operations may overwrite them. If you make changes here, they may also be overwritten later. The overall opening and closing of the foot, including the heel, has smoother transitions in these areas. Next is twist. Twist is for when you have twist bones. For example, on the arm. After enabling this, the weights will automatically be assigned to the twist bones. Let's take a look at the result. Right now, this one only has only one bone. No twist bone has been added, so it only has the effect of this one bone. As you can see, this is the result. There is only one bone. Now let's try twist splitting. As you can see, the twist bone has been added here. If there is a twist bone, it will be added automatically, and the weights will be split to the twist bone. It splits the weights from the main bone, because it automatically recognizes the twist bone. Since these are BIP bones have fixed IDs, so it can automatically split them automatically. Later, we will add mapping for standard bones. As long as you mark each bone, it will know which one is the shoulder, which one is the leg, and then standard bones will be supported. Currently, the body only supports BIP. The next version will add this functionality. Next is shoulder optimization. For example, if we enable this now, there is no indentation here and no bulge, so this area is relatively soft. This mainly targets the shoulder area. Including these effects, let's enable it and take a look. As you can see, there is now an indentation here. And a bulging effect. This area is also optimized, but the transition here isn't very good. After everything is completed, we can manually adjust it using smooth or adding more weight to a certain bone. This is usually handled at the end. Next is head optimization. These points on the head are also moving now. Sometimes these points can get pulled. Let's enable it now, because the head and neck are separated. There is another function later that can copy the weights around this loop, around this part of the head, so they connect better. This is the point-to-point weight copy function. We'll talk about that later. For this head optimization, it's for optimizing the neck and head. Why is it grayed out? Because you need to mark the chin point. Select this point. Select this point. You must be in editable poly, or editable mesh level, or the editable poly level. Select one vertex. Only one vertex can be selected. Try to select only one, then click here. It will turn green with a check mark, which means the marking was successful. Move the mouse over it, and you can see which vertex it is, which model it belongs to, and its coordinates. Right-click to clear it. That's how you clear it. And remove the mark. If you want to check which model the marked vertex belongs to, click this. Select and it will automatically select that vertex, so you know which one it is. After marking the vertex, exit this mode. Deselect it, then click here, and it will optimize the entire neck and head. Only this point needs to be marked. Mark the chin. Let's take another look at the result. As you can see, these unwanted influences are gone. But the gap needs to be handled later. The overall adding and subtracting won't affect this checkmark, because this is independent and needs to be marked separately, so it won't. The Shift shortcut only affects adding or removing these check marks. That's how each optimization works. Generally, you simply click AI Skin. If there is no skin and no weights, first use AI to calculate the basic weights, then use these optimizations to improve them. If weights already exist, you only need to click this to perform the optimization, because they are. If you perform them separately like this, each one counts as one use. If you select everything and click this, the options selected below will be optimized accordingly for their respective effects. Generally, if everything is selected, it takes about 1 minute. Let's try it now. During optimization, try not to click anything. Don't click the main interface, or it may fail. Because the interface may refresh sometimes, if you click something else, it may cause an incorrect detection. While it's running, don't click anything else. All the data is there. About 1 minute or so. The shoulder and leg results. These skirts will be covered in the next lesson when we explain these functions and how to use them. The body. The fingers and everything have been optimized. The fingers are also separated. That's all for this lesson. Thank you, everyone.